Good afternoon. It's the afternoon after. Oh man, another loss on Rocky Top, man. It's hard to take, but you know what's even harder to take? Reading these message boards on the internet and all the people criticizing the team and the players. We gotta have Harrison Bailey. Harrison Bailey's a different type of quarterback than the kind of scheme they want to run. Got to have a quarterback with some wheels. But I'll tell you what, I thought the Vols played pretty tough. And I think we're going to get bowl eligible. I think we'll win 3 conference games. And I'll tell you, how the expectations have fallen. 3 conference games. But we lost our entire foundation to the transfer portal. And that transfer portal might end up being something that helps us down the road. It's going to change everything. With these players that can move around all the time, and now they're getting paid if they can market it. I think it's just going to change everything on how talent moves around to different teams and everything. And but I'll tell you what, for the relative lack of talent, and again, I want all these kids to be positive all the time. I want the coaches to be positive. Just keep on fighting. That's what I want. But the reality is, we lost a foundation in the transfer portal. Henry Toa was probably the most notable, but there's some other really notable guys that we lost at the running back position as well. And they come out there against a pretty decent Pitt team that might play for the ACC title game. They've got a good experienced senior quarterback that thought about going to the draft last year. I'll bet you Pickett, before this year is over, leads a 2-minute drive at the end of a game to win an important game for Pitt. Mark that down. Yeah, they're a pretty good team, and we could have beat them. We had them in the fourth quarter. We had a shot. The offense just didn't perform, so we got to go back to the drawing board. But let's look at Josh Heupel. Got all these people talking about Josh Heupel, and not personally, but saying, well, they need to play a different quarterback. Josh Heupel was a starting quarterback for a national championship team and was runner-up for the Heisman. He sees them in practice every day. You don't think Josh Heupel knows who ought to start at quarterback and who doesn't, who shouldn't? No, I think the Vols are. There's 3 games that are definitely winnable, and that is Missouri, Kentucky, and South Carolina. Of course, we shouldn't even be taking Vanderbilt as a gimme anymore. They beat us more than we beat them in the last 8 years or something. I don't think Volunteer Nation understands how far we've fallen. Oh, and by the way, I had a comment about my hair. Yeah, see, I got me some hair back here now. I'm doing locks of love. What happened was they shut down my barber for the COVID stuff, and my hair started growing. And it needed a cut when they shut the barber down, and they were down for 15 weeks or so, and I just decided to go with a mullet. And now I'm doing locks of love. Here pretty soon I got to get it cut and send it in the mail. I can't think of anything better to do with it than help some poor kid that lost their hair from a cancer treatment. But anyway, I digress. I think the Vols have a lot to build on. And one of the things I took away from the game was they were competitive. They looked like they could win the game. In years past, we had a team that would lay down. It was frustrating. It's like you knew. Like when we got down by a couple scores against Pitt, teams of a few years past would have laid down, but we came back, made things happen. That's the kind of quarterback Josh Heupel was. That's the kind of coach he was at Central Florida. Now, I know this is, Central Florida, well, don't they play in that American Conference or whatever? I don't know. but they're not the SEC, and we know how torrid the SEC can be. We're going to be up against it, but this team's going to get bowl eligible. What do you think?